Welcome to Hammer and Nails with Skip and Alison Bedell.
Knock, knock.
Hello, hello.
Knock, knock.
Is anyone there? Hello.
You're supposed to say who's there.
Oh. Who's there?
It's Alison Bedell.
Oh, I know you. It's Skip Bedell. Hey, welcome back to Hammer and Nails Podcast, everybody. Here we are. And we're...
Late again.
We're late again, yeah.
So those of you who listened to our Tuesday episode on Tuesday, I am sorry to say that we are late once again. And
But it is Tuesday.
But it's Tuesday.
Tip, tip, tip.
It's still Tuesday, and here we are.
Tuesday.
It's been a pretty hectic schedule, and we apologize for getting this out. We normally get them out real early in the morning, like by midnight, or you guys can have access even on the West Coast by like 9, 10 o'clock at night on Monday night. But today, Tuesday is late day Tuesday.
Yeah.
So here you go.
Well, maybe you guys will just miss us.
Yeah.
If you're looking for it and it's not there.
Yeah.
So we have...
We usually will get Facebook or Twitter posts like, hey, miss you guys
No
or whatever.
episode today?
Now it's like, hey, what the fuck?
Yeah.
We're the what the fuck today.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry. We have a lot of stuff going on. The kitchen remodel is finally moving forward.
Holy crap. It's really moving forward. A lot of good stuff going on with this thing.
Yeah, the ceiling is in stage 3. 1, 2, 3.
I'm
Stage
kind of
3.
working my way down. You know, we got all the walls opened up. Of course, if you guys have been following along, we got everything, all the walls removed and all the micro lamps and structural stuff done, electric, plumbing, roughed, all the walls insulated and closed back up. And now we're doing all the pretty stuff that you can see on the outside. Starting with the ceiling, working my way down because we got this crazy floor coming in here, and I want to get all the high work done before the nice floor goes in and have to protect it. So we put these stamped tin tiles. They look like tin, actually. They look like old, antique stamped metal tiles that go on the ceiling, but they're not. They're actually made from a company called Facade.
That's Fasade.
You might have heard of us talk about them once before. They're actually plastic. They come in a lot of different finishes and sizes. You can get them for the ceiling or wall tiles.
They have
backsplash.
4 different patterns and colors in the Home Depot. And if you take the pamphlet that's at the display, then you'll see all the other patterns and the tons of colors that you have to choose
If
from.
you go on their website, what's the website again?
FasadeIdeas.com.
Right.
And then from there you can order samples, and they're $1 each.
Yeah, they send you like a 1x1 tile, like a 12-inch by 12-inch tile that you can put up on the wall or wherever.
Just tack
on the
a staple
ceiling.
right into it on your ceiling.
Yeah,
You
that's
can
what
see
we
what
did.
it'll
We
look
just
like.
stapled a couple of them to the ceiling
With one
to
staple
see what
right
they
in the
look
middle.
like. And it was as soon as we saw it on the ceiling, we're like, that's
the
it.
one.
Yeah, so we wound up doing this. It's actually called smoked pewter, but it's like a bronze-ish color tile with a really cool stamp texture in it.
It doesn't look like pewter to me. But
Well, it's funny because when you look at it in the light, and then it's like kind of like a smoky color.
Yeah, it's different
And
on the
then if you
ceiling.
look at it on the ceiling, because there's no light shining directly on the ceiling, it's kind of like in the shadow. It definitely changes color, which is why it's good.
Yeah.
We put that sample tile up
kind
there.
of like me. I look better from 8 feet away.
You look better when there's no light on you too.
I look better when you can't see all those little things going on in my face.
That's why we have dimmer switches. Turn it down. Wow, you just got a lot hotter. Oh my God.
Yeah, I'm awesome in the dark.
No, you're awesome all the time, you sexy bitch. So anyway, yeah, these tiles look insane. I don't know if you've seen any of the pictures that we posted. I'm putting some stuff on Instagram and I think on Facebook, actually, with the ceiling. But now, even better than that, all those structural beams I was telling you about that were basically just like, rough framing and micro lambs that were all kind of bolted together and nothing to look at. They were all wrapped with this rough sawn knotty pine that I had gone out and purchased and then have been working for, a week or more just on getting this wood to look the way I wanted to. And basically I'm trying to make it look like it's, 100+ years old. And we tried all different combinations of stains and different techniques to kind of age and patina or, distress the wood. And everything you can imagine. And what really worked best was this technique that the Japanese have been doing for centuries. It's basically they torch the wood with a torch, and then they put different types of oils on it, and basically by torching it, it heats up all the sap in the wood, and it kind of seals the wood, but it also blackens it. They actually do it to where it's charred, like charred black, and then they go with a wire brush and brush off all of the blackness and then cover it with oil. I kind of modified that process a little bit. Didn't use any of the oil. Didn't use the wire brush.
They look good enough.
They look amazing. I didn't do it to the point to where they were black and charred. They're like, I just kind of kept working until I found the color that I like. But it's amazing because it goes from like an amber color to
It's kind of like when you're barbecuing. Like if you like the chicken, just like cooked, or I like it like a bit charred and black with the black, crunchy edges.
Right.
So it's just like you just kind of keep doing it until it's the amount that you like.
Put a quick little video on it. It was really just a very fast little 30-second piece on it.
That was a hint trying to tell you that the chicken you cooked the other night, it wasn't good enough for me. I didn't like it.
I'm going to make an extended video of how you guys can do this technique to distress wood. But it's unbelievable how this wood came out, and it did everything from hatchet marks on it, because back in the day, before they had sawmills and they had power saws that would cut the wood clean square from a round tree into a square piece of timber, they would actually hatchet them or use axes called hewns, and they had a curved blade on it, and they would run down each side of the tree and cut off the rounded sides and turn it into a square piece of lumber. So if you look at old lumber, like from way back turn of the century and before that, they had like axe chops in it if they were never sanded down smooth. Also use some chains, right? Beat it with the chains. And what the chains does, it kind of leaves like long dents in it, which simulate like wormholes and like kind of like almost like insect damage to the wood. And also even took a piece of wood and turned it into like a little club and put a bunch of screws and nails through it.
The kind that what's his name on Walking Dead is going to be using to kill something. We don't know who he killed.
Oh yeah, the new villain, right? That has the baseball bat with the nails in it with
Lucille.
the spikes. Very similar to that.
Yeah, he used
right?
Lucille to beat.
So what happens with that is that you hit.
You beat your wood.
I beat my wood, yeah, with nails. That'll feel good.
Oh my God!
No, you're the only one that beats my wood.
Beat the wood with nails. I'm sorry, but I need to jump ahead because there's a story I wanted to tell you about. Hang on a second. Let me get this one because it's really, really weird.
You're gonna squash my wormhole technique? It better be a good story.
No, it is. It's a good one. There is.
All right, I'll get back to my wormhole technique.
So there's this inmate in prison who is suing the prison because they forced him to get surgery to remove marbles from his penis.
Say what?
He's one of those body modification people, and he had marbles put into his penis in 2008. So he had these marbles, and he said it intensifies sensitivity and euphoric climaxes. So then he got locked up in 2012.
Yeah, I'm not putting anything in my penis.
I've never heard of marbles in the penis.
I don't know.
Never.
I don't know.
So meanwhile, he got tattoos and marble implants on his penis because he heard about the intensification, and so then he got locked up. And then once somebody in the jail had ratted him out that he had these marbles in his dick.
Is it against the law to have these marbles?
Well, that's what is to be decided because, like, if you were hiding a knife in your dick, that's a potential weapon. You know what I mean? It could be used.
It could be carrying around that little mini AR-15.
It could be potentially dangerous. So medical came to examine him, and they put him in solitary for 60 days. And while he was there, they asked him to sign a piece of paper without letting him read it. So what it turns out he had signed was signing away his rights to refuse the surgery, and they forced him to have surgery, and they removed his marbles from his dick. So meanwhile now his dick's all fucked up.
As if it wasn't messed up to begin with, right?
Yeah. So because there was an issue about the safety of others, but meanwhile it was decided this court case is that it wasn't a security threat and they violated his rights. But now he said when it rains or it snows or in bad weather, his dick hurts.
Let me ask you something, dude. If you had your dick cut open and had marble stuffed in it and sewn back up, that's everything feels good there too. I mean, you didn't have any discomfort with that.
Where could you fit marbles in your dick?
I don't know. I don't know. I have no extra space in mine at all. It's
There's no extra skin?
No, it's stretched tight.
Stretched to the max.
Max out. Yep.
Oh, my God.
Yes.
I mean, I've never heard of that one before. I've seen those barbells. What is it called?
Prince Albert.
Prince Albert, yeah. I've seen barbells through the dick. And on women too down there, but
I don't get any of that. I have no desire to pierce. Like you're talking about putting something.
Think about how ugly a marble dick would be, like with all those bumps.
Yeah, I don't know about. I mean, it's I guess there's that whole like ribbed for her pleasure thing.
Yeah, but then again, like how big must have it? Like it's gonna hurt at some point.
Maybe they were like beads. Like maybe they weren't like marbles.
No, they were marbles.
But like how big
were
marbles.
they? Marbles. It says marbles. Yeah. I don't know.
Can you imagine what that thing looked like?
I mean, you know what I would think is that you can use a condom and put marbles in, like as you're sliding it up, slide marbles in, and you can have the same effect. For the girl. For the girl.
Maybe. Yeah.
I mean, not for him, but for the girl, I would imagine. And then if she likes it, but I can't even I can't imagine that feeling good. But anyway, so since I don't even remember what you said that made me think of this thing. But okay,
we're talking about my wormhole technique.
Yeah, wormholes.
Talking about
and Lucille,
the club that I made that was like the guy from Walking Dead, the villain in the last episode that had the baseball bat with the nails through it.
Right.
So picture that. But now, like, beating this plank with that club and all the nails coming through. And what happens, it leaves a bunch of little holes that are all grouped close together. And if you look at wood that has been infested with, like, worms and termites and stuff like that over the years, like, old, very old wood, like out of a barn, typically that's something that you'll see. And usually the holes are, like, in little groups.
You already talked about that before.
Yeah, but that's part of that whole distressing. And really, when you look at this, like, you can look at anywhere on this lumber, and it's pretty authentic. It's pretty cool.
It looks great. What looks really nice, too, is what you did today, which was the edges of the... what is it called? The entranceway? What is?
Yeah, well, there's a whole entranceway that's into the kitchen, and it's kind of like a half wall, and then like a big. It's probably about 14, 15 feet across, a big entrance that goes into the kitchen, and all that was wrapped with this wood. So you feel like you're walking underneath like this grand entrance of all this old.
It looks
wood.
like now it looks more log cabin-y.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's really nice.
And that's all like kind of inside of that fieldstone fireplace that we have. So it's really kind of wooden the whole place up.
Yeah.
I like to wood the place up.
I know you do.
I like to wood you up, too.
I know you do. I did some work at the house, too, yesterday. But there's a story that precedes the work that I did. So
right. Oh yeah. Remember? Yeah, I saw you out. You were doing you had a mask on and gloves and the whole thing.
Let me just tell first. There is. I think we had talked about it before about the caterpillar shit on the patio. So they're out in full force this year. There are thousands and thousands of caterpillars up in the trees, eating the trees to the point where you don't even have leaves anymore, and they're getting into their cocoons now, and
I don't know if they come like every couple of years or something, but like I don't recall it ever being like. I mean,
I don't remember it this bad.
The trees are like covered.
I remember the little shit balls that they make. They're like the size of a pinhead. They're dark brown and hard and round.
Shit balls.
They're like little tiny shit balls, and when
like
you're under the
like
gazebo,
a little black BB, but like tiny little
and when you're under the gazebo. It literally sounds like it is raining because it's a constant fall of these little shit balls.
Well, there's a big oak tree that's over where the patio is and where the gazebo is, and there must be 1 million caterpillars in that tree.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Literally 1 million, because you're right. When you sit underneath that canopy, it sounds like a steady rain.
Yes.
And I'm like, what is that noise?
And
I
every
realize
day with the blower.
It's all of this shit hitting
and then your whole patio is covered with these little shit balls, and it lands everywhere. It's everywhere. So we've been using the blower to blow it off the patio every day and off of everything else that it lands on, because the caterpillars are crawling. So they're also inside the gazebo, and they're on the furniture, and they're like fucking everywhere.
It's like the invasion of the caterpillars.
Now, when I was young, I was I learned about metamorphosis and all that stuff and what happens to caterpillars when they change and they go into a cocoon and they may turn into a butterfly. So we've had these particular caterpillars, which are indigenous to the Northeast and to Long Island, forever. And I remember when I was a kid, I used to step on the end of the caterpillar and watch its body slither out of its skin.
Oh, that's pretty nasty.
I had no heart. I didn't know better.
That's terrible.
Yeah, but now that I'm older and more sensitive, and,
now that I've grown up
and care about animals, the thought of that really disturbs me. Anyway, so we've had so many
maybe
caterpillars.
This is some caterpillar karma.
Well,
I just thought about that. Maybe they've come back to haunt you for all of
it is entirely
all
possible.
the caterpillar bodies that you exploded.
Despite the poop balls, I have been happy about these caterpillars because they're just starting now to form all these big cocoons in our tree in clusters, and I'm really super stoked for this emergence of butterflies that we are about to get. I'm really excited because it's going to be beautiful. Like, I want to set up a time lapse to watch these butterflies fly out of our tree. So we were sitting outside this weekend, and I'm like, let me look it up to see exactly what the name of these caterpillars are, and I Googled it. And I couldn't find anything because there's like a trillion different hairy caterpillars with different patterns on their back. So I went into this homesteading forum that I am part of on Facebook. It's like where they ask each other, do you know what this plant is, or is this a weed, or does anybody want my chickens, that kind of shit. And so I took a couple of pictures of the caterpillars and a picture of the cocoon and asked if anybody knows what this is. And the answer was unanimous from multiple people in the know. And it turns out that we are harboring gypsy moths by the thousands.
Yeah, they're not butterflies.
They're not beautiful butterflies. They're pests. They're nuisances. And I fucking hate them.
And I'm now eating the whole tree.
Our trees are gone. My butterfly bush leaves are gone. My rose bush leaves are gone. They ate everything that I like and nothing that I don't.
And left you piles of shit.
Piles of shit. So now, so I said to Skip, like, I wish that we had a way to humanely kill these cocoons and these things crawling up the tree still. And I don't know.
Karma.
I don't want to do anything that's going to hurt them. But we have this bug zapper hanging from our tree. That's for mosquitoes, I'm guessing. It's got like one of those ultraviolet
zaps
lights.
Everything, all sorts of flying insects. It's like that big ultraviolet light.
Right.
Yeah.
So
with the electric fence around it.
Yeah. So we noticed a couple of caterpillars on the bulb and a couple of cocoons on the bulb. The messenger of death over here decided to turn on the light.
Who, me?
It was so fucking horrifying watching these caterpillars.
They were like, I'm out of here.
Squirm. But they couldn't get out. Like, they were squirming like, doing like what a worm would do, like back and forth, back and forth. And then even more frightening was the fucking cocoons were also squiggling, trying to escape the heat, whatever it was that was about to fry them.
I was just waiting for that thing to heat, like the cocoon to heat up and the whole thing just to like explode.
Well, then you were standing way too close. You would have gotten it.
Anyway.
Oh, so it was really disgusting. So anyway, so now we've got all these things, and it occurred to me that underneath our gazebo, when you look up, you can see like the little drain holes for when it rains. They were all covered from the top with all this shit because it's been raining shit on top of our gazebo.
Leaves and everything are up there, right?
Yeah, and so we were supposed to get some rain today, and I'm thinking, shit, I gotta get all this mess out of there because it's gonna ruin the canopy if the water doesn't get to drain through. So
and for once, you said, wow, we should really get up there and clean it. And I said, yeah, we really should.
No, you said something like...
I did what you did. You're like, yeah, we should go and...
Because usually we means you.
Yeah, we should build that. Yeah, we can do that.
Yeah.
And so you mean we means me.
Always, yeah.
Right, so in this case, we meant you.
Yeah, and what you said to me after I said that was, knock yourself out.
Right.
Asshole. You were sitting there on your phone doing nothing.
Building shit.
You weren't building shit.
Yeah, exactly. I was building all day, and I finally sat down. So if you want to clean caterpillar shit... There you go. Knock yourself out.
So I had a ladder.
Perfect words.
Little step ladder that I got up on, and what I saw on top of this gazebo, I've never seen anything like it in my life. It was pounds of caterpillar shit, like where I had to actually go inside and get a dustpan to brush them onto the dustpan because there was just no way to get this.
I was pretty impressed when you went and found that dustpan because I don't think that I've never seen you even. I don't know that you even knew that we had one.
Fuck you! I do that for the litter outside the litter boxes. And you've never scooped a box since we lived here.
So now you can use it for the caterpillar
Fuck
shit.
you. So I was up there scooping this caterpillar shit and putting it into like grocery store bags. I had about cumulatively in 2 grocery store bags, I would say it probably total at least maybe 6-7 pounds worth of caterpillar shit. I mean, think about how many little shit balls there must be for me to have that much weight.
Think about how many caterpillars there must be to make that much shit.
Oh, there's thousands. I mean, and I'm talking like hundreds of thousands.
Well, if you look up at the tree, how much damage they did to that tree, and this is a huge oak tree, and there's not one whole leaf on, like, complete
they're all
leaf.
bitten.
All of them are like chewed like in half.
Yeah.
So if you think about how much, think about when the leaves fall, like in the fall, and I have to rake them, and I rake 30 bags of leaves.
It's going to really help us out in the fall cleanup.
Yeah, I just thought of that. I'm like, this is
that's
great.
awesome. Yeah, okay. All right, then. Okay. So, that was my extent of cleaning up the house this weekend.
Yeah, well, you got it done, though.
Yeah, I did a little bit of research, by the way. There was something that we had talked about the last time, and I happened to have come across some information that I didn't even mean to come across while I was perusing the daily news. So remember when I was telling you about that porn website that has the sound, it describes what's going on for the visually impaired?
Like narrates it for blind people, right? Yeah.
For the blind people.
Yeah.
So as it turns out, it wasn't on YouPorn, it's on Pornhub. And I found this video of, what's her name? Farrah Abraham, backdoor teen mom. And she squirts. So she was on one of those, 16 and pregnant shows on MTV. Uh-huh. And she was, like really fugly. And she had this kid. And so she was popular, I guess, with kids who watch these shitty shows. And once the show was over and she wasn't on it anymore, she wanted to be famous so bad that she started doing all this extreme plastic surgery to her face. She got big boobs put in. She looks like a totally different person now.
She looks better, I hope?
She looks better, but I wouldn't look twice at her, but she looks better than she did. So
who's the other blonde that was like the teenage that married the older guy, like the older business guy?
Oh my God,
that
yeah.
did all the plastic surgery.
She got the boobs. What the hell was her name again? I know who you're talking about. Oh,
she was doing a bunch of stuff, right? Like on
she didn't.
TV and wasn't she on some show also?
No, they would just go on these talk shows together, and she would make these porn faces, like she was real sexy and she was like a teenager,
right.
but. And he was in his 50s.
Why can't I remember her name?
He was the guy from The Green Mile. He played the bad officer who was mean.
Oh, right, yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, it'll come to me. Her name just passed through my brain and then it went right back out again. So anyway,
She left a lasting impression.
Yeah. Farrah Abraham, in her effort to become famous, she got into porn. And she made an ass fucking video with this guy who's one of the porn guys, James Dean. And it's, she made a lot of money off of it. And what I found even more amusing was that contrary to Podcast One's newfound clean image, you know how they've got Corolla doing 2 days clean every a week, and
Corolla's
Lynette's
fans
podcast.
are like, dude, what's going on?
They don't curse anymore, from what I hear on Lynette's podcast. So
really,
yeah.
Her too?
Yeah, that's what I heard.
Wow.
So because that they're in an effort to get more advertising or better advertising, so now they have to have it be clean. So what I found really ironic was that their new podcaster on Podcast One is Farrah Abraham, because everybody wants to hear what she has to say.
So wait a second, Podcast One is trying to clean it up,
But they hire a porn star who had a baby at 16.
They got her doing the podcast.
Yeah, I listened to it, and trying to be fair, and I wasn't really thrilled with anything.
And today on Anal Reaming in the Afternoon.
Yeah. She's very self-absorbed, and I just saw her on Facebook like last week or something. I don't know where. I don't know. Maybe it was on TMZ or something. I don't know. But it was a picture of her like just last week, still whoring it up somewhere in Vegas. Just like ass up in the air, just all about look at me. So it kind of grossed me out. But anyway, I found a narrated porn of her porn movie.
Of hers?
Of hers. So I wanted you to hear what it sounds like.
This is Pornhub's descriptive audio of the video.
Okay.
Teen mom Farrah Abraham.
Can I see the video?
By Vivid Celebs.
I don't want to hear it. I want to see it.
Opens with a shot of Farrah on a beige sofa with a blue and black gym bag beside her. She's wearing a bodycon mini dress that's neon orange with black and is leaning
Let's get to the good stuff.
Okay, let me skip ahead to the good stuff.
I don't care what she's wearing. I want to know
well,
what
I mean, it's just for an example.
I want to know what she's not wearing.
Oh, hold on a second.
Hey, that's a great dress, Farrah. It'll look great at the end of the bed, rolled up on the floor.
Oh my God! Look.
It's great, watching you, watch the screen and going, "Oh my God, what the?"
Shut up!
And
I'm getting this dating thing up on the screen. I'm trying to get rid of it.
Oh my God, I can't believe what she's doing in this porno.
The fuck? Hang on a minute now.
I'm just staring at the back of the screen.
Shut up!
When she decides that they should do anal, she springs up off the bed and walks away to get lube. She walks over to a metal staircase going downstairs, but then they keep teasing each other for a few moments, so she stands there by the railing of the stairs in her pink and blue lingerie. After a moment of jostling, the camera settles on a side view of her giving him a blowjob. He's still not very hard, although he's getting there. She licks and sucks and rubs his shaft.
It's like nothing's happening though.
He's not getting hard.
It's just
okay?
it's like
all this rubbing and sucking, and every time she lets go of it, you can see just how flaccid he is. She's trying. She's smiling.
Somebody needs to give her a lesson.
And reopens on them doing anal on the bed.
Oh my
He's
God.
kneeling and is mostly off screen, and she is
All
lying
right, so
on
I get the idea. So they narrate through the whole thing. So if you can't
Yes.
watch, you can't see it for whatever reason.
Right.
Or maybe you're just driving in the car and you just love porn so much that you need to listen to it too.
Well, I could see some people wanting to do that as well. And this was all free. I mean, I just clicked on something and that came up.
So how do you make money in porn anymore if they're giving it all away for free?
Ads, all this bullshit that's coming up on the screen here that I'm trying to get rid of while I'm showing you. Yeah. Pretty gross though. Yeah.
So that's the new way
Not a
to
fan.
experience porn. You can just listen to it,
That's
kind of like
just
an
one
ebook.
of many. There's that website has a lot of them. There's a whole huge variety, but I wouldn't know that.
It's like listening to an ebook, only a porno.
Yeah. So.
All right.
A couple other things.
I'm sorry, but I if I'm going to experience that, I would prefer to watch it than listen to someone talk about it. Especially, she sounds like she's almost
she
like
was kind of like a librarian, but sexy, right? The way she was talking.
Not really though. It's kind of sounded more like a.
Well, she was sucking his cock. Oh, I do it good, right?
Yeah, that was pretty good. Wait, do that again.
I'm going to do that while we're doing it.
Do that again. I think I got a little.
I'm going to narrate what you're doing to me.
I got a little tingle there. Wait, hold on a second. Try that again. Hold on.
She's stroking and licking his penis.
Yep, there it is again.
But it's not hard yet.
Ding.
She then throws herself back on the bed, and in the next scene, they're doing anal.
Wow. You should narrate the whole next time that we do it.
Yes.
Yeah.
You wouldn't even know it was me.
Let's just see what happens.
I won't say fuck once, and nobody will really know.
Yeah.
It can't be her. She didn't say anything.
Yeah, right.
And he said,
Wait, hold on a
cunt,
second.
fuck.
Allison didn't say fuck. No, that can't be her talking.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, so narrated porn.
Yeah.
There you go.
Okay, so this morning I was listening to Howard Stern. Lenny Dykstra was interviewed, and I don't know if you remember him.
What the hell is going on with him?
He
wasn't
was-
he arrested for something?
He was on the Mets from 84 to 80, or maybe 86 to 89 or something like that. But He got them. He was part of the World Series when they were in the series.
Yeah, huge baseball star.
Yeah, and he was my biggest crush. Like, I loved him. I went to a few different places where he was signing autographs, and I waited online at the mall for like 5 hours.
I thought Wonder Woman was your biggest crush.
One of. So
that's when you were confused.
Yeah. So I know I just liked everybody. Oh, okay. So I waited online, and then when I got to him, I asked him if I could kiss him, and he said no. Because then like everybody will want to, have to.
What do you think? Can I kiss you just like that? Like, really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Believe me, it took every ounce of courage that I had to ask. Because, but you know what? That is a classic example, as even from my teens, that I have always had the go after what you want mentality.
Well, that's the only way you're going to get it.
That's the way I've got you. That's the way I got my job. That's the way we got this house. Everything.
It's the only way you're going to get it.
Yeah.
You got to go get it.
Right. Nobody's standing around waiting to give you something.
But then after all of that, he shoots you down.
Right. So then there was another time I saw him. It was at, he was doing like a signing it was in some hotel. Like, my dad brought me there. It was like, I guess, to promote people to go to, I don't know. So anyway, he was there.
This time you asked him, you want to come to my room?
Wally Backman was there, and Ron Darling. It was the three of them. I got autographs from all three. And when I got to Lenny, I said to him, I met you last year. I waited online a really long time, and I asked you for a kiss, and you said no. And he was like, oh, I'm sorry. So he said I could give him a kiss, and I gave him a kiss on the cheek. I got a picture with him. I got a picture with Wally Backman and a picture with Ron Darling. So then fast forward like 30 years later, and he ends up getting imprisoned for 2 years for bankruptcy fraud, and he wasn't paying taxes on shit. A whole bunch of shit. So I knew that he was doing bad,
but
and
it
he was
wasn't
also
like some criminal act. It was like some white collar,
tax
evasion or some bullshit, right?
Yeah, and he was also he had an addiction issue. He was addicted to opiates. So he's been quite fucked up, and I always see him on TMZ. He's had a fucked up life. He's just a fuck up right now. He's not like the clean cut baseball player and cute.
Lenny, what happened, Lenny?
He's a fucking mess. So anyway, he was on Stern today, and he sounds like a huge dick. By the way, he's so fucking full of himself. He's saying that he is like the best. He licks the best pussy. All he's talking about is how good he's able to pleasure women, and that his teeth were knocked out in prison by the corrections officers, all of his front teeth. He's got no teeth, and you can hear it while he's talking. So, like he sounds like a bum.
He's got like the slurpy air going through
you
like
can tell that
the lisp thing
you
happening.
can tell something's wrong with him. So he was talking about all of the things that he does to pleasure women, and how he's actually like a gigolo. He takes money from older women who want companionship. And
really?
Yeah. And he like dates these women so that they have, but he said that he doesn't fuck them, but he dates them. So
Just
then,
a gigolo,
and he was talking about
everywhere I go.
Okay. So then he was talking about how
know the part I'm playing.
How much pussy he's had over the years from being a baseball player and all that, and all the steroids that he took. I mean, he like told everything. There was like no secrets. He was just really, really, really full of himself, talking like he's still like this Casanova. And what pissed me off? No, before I forget, what pissed me off the most about what he was saying was now when he's with women, they have to be like really clean. He was talking about like they have to like look clean. And Howard asked me if he would ever eat ass. And he said there's no way. And then he asked if he would ever do anal. And he's like, fuck no. He won't even do anal. And he was like talking like he was so judgmental of like what women look like. They have to look really good.
Dude, have you looked in the mirror lately?
Okay, look at this. Look at this. This is what the picture on the Howard Stern website.
What?
Are you fucking kidding me?
What?
You're going to judge what women look like? Wow. Have you looked in the mirror, you ugly, washed up, toothless motherfucker?
You better take whatever comes along there, Lenny.
Are you fucking kidding me? That is like, he looks like the classic alcoholic at the end of the fucking dive bar. He looks like shit. He's fat. He's ugly. And he's toothless. And he's a convicted felon. And you're going to judge the women? Are you kidding me? For real?
They got to be really clean.
And somebody's paying you to hang out with them?
See, now that's what I want to know.
What?
I want to know who's paying for that. Because if you got to pay, it better be damn good.
He was complaining that this one woman keeps wanting to like jam her tongue down his throat, but she's like 90.
Oh, dude.
Yeah, just like
Okay,
really, that's the fucking life you're living.
Now I got the picture.
Yeah.
Okay, I got it.
Yeah.
So basically, it's just like old, like really old, like really, really old.
Yeah.
Like nobody else is doing these women. Yeah. Like nobody.
And he's taking
no
their
one's
money.
remotely like anyone would be afraid to bang one of these
Right.
women because they're gonna like bust a hip or like they're gonna like
Yeah.
I've fallen and I can't get up.
Yeah.
One of those.
Yeah. So he.
Wow, dude.
He's just a fucking mess. You're like,
wow,
what a loser.
there's a 180.
And he sounded like an idiot. He has a very low IQ, I'm sure, because Howard Stern was saying words that are normal for people like us. You know, he used the word flaccid. He was asking how big he was flaccid. He didn't know what that meant.
Really?
He did not know what the word flaccid meant.
Like, I'm not sure. What do
Yeah,
you
and
mean?
he would say like, "Oh, I'm still like, I don't know what that means." You know, like I'm not really good with words, and there must have been like maybe 10 times that he complimented Howard on his vocabulary and the words that he uses, and they were all like regular words. He was
Well,
like,
you use some pretty big, pretty words.
like, how are you a man and you don't know what flaccid means? Really, dude?
Well, it's kind of a word that I try to avoid.
It's a condition you try to avoid.
Yeah, well, I don't. Well,
You woke up this morning
no
with like
problem there.
like a 10-incher.
I know.
And I don't even think you realized it as you were schlepping to the bathroom.
I don't know what's up with the morning wood,
Oh,
man.
my
I mean, like,
God.
it's just completely out of control.
It's like bigger than ever. And it was like almost like a joke because like you were like schlepping half asleep going to the bathroom like what is that?
I think I like bumped into the like doors that went through the I was still like completely
like it was like your underwear didn't fit
I
anymore.
was completely out of it.
It's like you were putting on a little boy's underwear.
It's like 3/4 of it was out of the underwear completely. It's basically like up to my chest.
Like, what happened? What the hell is that?
You know, like when guys like pound their chest. Like,
Yeah.
I was like, what is that on my?
I don't want any part of that thing.
What the? I looked down. I was like, what the?
That thing looks painful.
That's why they call me tripod.
Oh God, it was fucking awful.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right. Well, there you go. I guess it's worse than it's better than the other way, right? I mean, better that it's too big than too small, right?
Absolutely.
All right. There you go.
Absolutely.
Size does matter. I don't,
It does.
Yeah.
I told you I would like way back in the 90s. I was with some guy who did steroids, and he had like fucking micro penis.
He had baby dick?
Yeah, he had baby dick. It was like it was bad. It really you don't feel a thing.
Wow.
You know, it was like, why did I even let it get this far? Why?
Oh, no,
You know, like you
really?
get to the point of like no return where you feel uncomfortable to say, nah, I changed my mind.
Oh, it's already.
Never mind.
It's already in.
No, well, he tried to get it.
But you weren't really sure if it was or not. Oh,
Right.
That's terrible.
Yeah, it was really bad. And he was such a big guy.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it was, oh, God, it's so weird.
That's really weird, right?
Yeah,
Like
really.
monster guy with like a tiny little
Yeah,
micro
like
dick.
back then I was only into bodybuilders and they had to be gigantic.
Wow.
I never had any idea that they were like, oh, God, what a mess.
You never had any idea. You were too busy looking at their biceps.
Well,
and
how would
like,
I know that all those drugs make you have like no dick?
Yeah.
I
don't know, but
Bad news.
that's what they say.
Yeah. So,
Fortunately,
now
I
you
don't
know.
I don't have either one of those problems.
Now you know. I wasn't a virgin before you.
Oh, really? I'm gonna have to rethink this whole thing, this
Yeah.
whole arrangement.
Oh God, there is a guy that I work with who I didn't realize it until a mutual coworker pointed it out that we went to the same high school, and this guy was 1 year ahead of me, which means that we were in the same yearbook because I don't have any of my yearbooks at all. So we asked him to bring in the yearbook. So I want to show you this is for my junior year because I transferred into a different school in my senior year, but this was my junior year. Now there's a regular picture of me in here, which is like no big deal because like I had classic 80s hair in this picture. Stand by.
Let me see this 80s hairdo. Okay. Let me see that. Oh, yeah, that is you.
Yeah. So it was a classic high, big tease do.
Wow.
Yeah, so, so we were sitting there reminiscing, looking at all the old pictures of the people. Like, oh, my God, I remember them. Oh, I'm Facebook friends with that one now. Like, so we were going through this yearbook, and it was like memory lane. But then I said, you know what, I've got to be in other pictures, too, because I was definitely in the wind ensemble, and I was also in the honor society. So let me see the other pictures of me that I'm sure I must be in. So we're scrolling through the rest of it, and I'm looking for the pictures, and I was having some difficulty finding myself. So the first one, the wind ensemble, they didn't really give the whole picture of everybody, so I couldn't find that one. Then comes the Senior National Honor Society, which I should have been in this picture, but yet I am not.
But you weren't a senior.
No, but the Senior National Honor Society is the juniors and seniors, and the Junior National Honor Society is the freshmen and sophomores.
Okay.
So I wasn't in this picture, and I was like, oh, that's weird, because I was in the Senior Honor Society. Then I turned the page, I'm like,
Show
okay.
you how much I know about the Honor Society.
Right.
I'm like, but you were a junior.
That's cute. So then on the page before it is the French Club, the Spanish Club, the French National Honor Society, and the Hispanic Honor Society. So I'm looking at this picture, and I'm like, oh, yeah, I remember I was really good in Spanish. Is anybody in this picture here familiar?
No.
No?
No.
Okay, because I'm going to have to put it on the website because it's just really laughable that this person at the end of the row.
No. No. Get out of here. Hold on a second. Wait a minute. Hold on. What? That is not you.
Yeah, but look at the close-up.
You're like in the dark. First of all, you can't even see your face because like look at the picture.
I know. But when I take I took a picture
ever taken.
I took a picture of the picture, and you can zoom in on it now.
Are you?
Look what I'm wearing.
You know what? You totally look like an Honor Society geek.
Yeah. But what's even more laughable is I was in the Hispanic Honor Society as well, and I took the picture with them.
That can't possibly be you.
Yeah. I was wearing an overalls skirt combo.
What the hell kind of rig is this? What kind of outfit is this?
I don't know. My scrunchy socks with docksiders.
Hold on a second. I got to know what this is.
What?
Talk about resting bitch face.
Oh, yeah. She looks like a real bitch. She looks like your ex-wife with that bitch face, doesn't she?
She looks
just like that cunt.
She looks like really pissed off right now.
That looks like your ex-cunt.
Oh, my God.
So anyway, look at this. I've got a shirt on and a turtleneck underneath it. And
what?
I know.
What the
and
hell
I'm wearing
kind
a
of
skirt with a turtleneck. First of all, like why? It must have
Wait, did the skirt with a turtleneck with a shirt over the turtleneck with overalls over that?
Yeah.
What the fuck? And then you got some scrunchy socks on, which what looks to be like bowling shoes or something.
No, they're docksiders. Remember the classic brown docksiders with the white bottom?
No.
Like Yes.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So, and I had my hair up in a ponytail and it's scrunchy.
Wow.
Yep. Yeah. That was just really pathetic and embarrassing.
Wow.
Yeah. So I thought that you'd get a good laugh out of that. So.
Yeah.
So as I was scrolling, yeah. So I'm scrolling through these pages.
You clean up good.
Thank you. Right? Definitely improved with age.
Yeah.
You wouldn't have dated that girl.
Probably not.
Oh, fuck you, Mr. Popularity.
I'm just kidding.
So as we're flipping through the pages, like, oh, remember this person, that person? So there was a guy in my coworker's class who I had a big crush on. I was a freshman, and actually, was it in his class? I don't know. But anyway, he was older, and I had a huge crush on him. But he liked my best friend. So when I had run away from home during that time period, and I was staying at my best friend's house.
Does every teenage girl run away from home at some point?
If they have a...
I have a friend of mine that I was just talking to the other day, and he's like, my daughter, she's 14.
Oh, yeah.
My daughter ran away. 14. Is that like somewhere between like 13 and 16?
Well, when somebody says you're not going to do that while you're living under my roof, you get out from under the roof. Not in my house. Okay, I'll do it somewhere else.
I gotcha.
You know, because it was just too restrictive in my household. I never drank. I never did drugs. I had awesome grades. It was like, let me be normal with the other kids. I never went to a high school party, Ever. Not one. And the one time I was so close, I almost did. I was slept over at my friend Stacy's house. We snuck out of her house. We walked down the block, which was like a half a mile long, to wait for a ride to come and pick us up to go to a school party. And instead of the person coming by to pick us up, who was supposed to pick us up, my fucking mother pulls up.
Well, how'd that happen?
Because she was calling Stacy's house late at night to make sure that we were there and everything was fine, and Stacy had disconnected the phone when we left so that her mother wouldn't get it.
My point is that, like, you, like every other teenage girl, like, what is it? Is there some point, like, is it written in stone, like, when you're a teenage girl, like, you just need to, like, take off with some, like, older boy or something?
Not if your parents let you live and experiment with life.
Yeah.
Like, like I wasn't doing anything horrible.
Everybody that I know that has a teenage daughter, they're all like...
I was, like, suicidal.
Oh.
I was, like to the point of, it was so confining and just so stifled that it would, like, literally fucked with my head. Like, I literally felt like I was going to explode. Like, I would rather be dead than live like I was. Like, I was just like a caged animal.
Fortunately, that didn't happen, so here you are.
So I ran away from home.
Or else, who would I be doing this podcast with right now?
I know.
Someone else.
Better not. I'll kick your ass.
Yeah, someone else would be here.
So I ran away from home. I was staying at Stacy's house for the summer, and this guy who I liked her. So we invited him over, and I didn't care that he liked her. I was like, just as long as I can be around him. So we snuck him into the house. Got him into...
You thinking like three-way? Is that what, like, you going like
no,
that? Oh.
No. But if they were going to do something, I happened to be in the bed. So we get him
You're
into...
like, I don't care if he likes her too, as long as I could be in there.
Yeah.
As long as I could be in there somewhere.
Yeah, as long as I can be around him. So we sneak him into her bedroom, and she had I don't know if it was a full-size bed or a queen. It was like the bigger size bed. And so he gets in the middle, and me and Stacy are on both sides of him.
Nice chick sandwich.
No, but we were just laying there talking. We weren't even doing anything. We were just talking. So at some point, I guess because we were talking, her dad...
is getting in bed with two girls and just talking?
Stacy was very shy and not promiscuous.
How often does that happen? Don't waste time talking, dude.
I would have been like, dude, get in. She's like, no, she was like a hard to get. I was ready to give it up because,
Wow.
I liked them. And I already had at that point. So at some point, because we're talking, her father, I guess, hears the going on, like something going on. So next thing you know, her father storms into the room like, what's going on? And so we quickly grab the blanket and both of us at the same time pull it up over his head. And she's like, nothing, Dad. We're sleeping. We're just talking. We're sleeping, nothing. So he's like, oh, okay. I wanted to make sure everything was okay. So he leaves and goes back into his room, which was like right next to her room. So now...
How the hell did you get the kid up into the room?
Snuck him in the front door. So listen to this.
While the father is home.
And mother, yeah. They were in the bedroom right next to hers.
Oh, my God.
So listen to this. So because we had both pulled the blanket up to cover his head...
Yeah.
We realized after her father left the room that there were 3 sets of exposed feet at the bottom of the bed.
And the father didn't see that?
No.
Oh, my God. I would have killed you all.
And then, at some point, this guy had to take a piss. And she's like, you're not leaving this bedroom. There's no way. So she found a dirty, empty glass in her room and made him piss in the glass and pour it out the window.
Oh, my God.
And then when it came time for him to leave at like 4 a.m, and she had these really tiny windows, she made him leave, crawl out of this tiny window head first, out the window.
From the second floor?
No, it was the first floor. But I mean, it was a tiny window. It wasn't a regular window.
Right.
It was almost like a basement window, but it was small. And she made him go out the window.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, that was good times. All this like flashbacks from reading the yearbook.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Crazy kids.
I know. Yeah.
So yeah, y'all might want to run into your daughter's room tonight and check up and see what's going on in there.
I did that too, actually. I had on a number of occasions snuck out my window in my bedroom when I was like 16. No, actually 14.
Was it ground floor?
Yes. We live in an apartment complex.
Don't ever put your daughter on the ground floor bedroom.
Mm-hmm.
No.
I snuck out that window on a number of occasions.
Yeah, not good. No.
But I wasn't doing anything bad.
Yeah.
I was just out. You know.
You're just out there.
I was just out.
Doing your thing.
So I wasn't allowed to do anything.
Yeah.
Which really...
You're making up for it now.
Increased my curiosity. What am I missing?
Everything.
Shit. So, I have a couple other topics. Maybe I'll just hold it to Friday because it is Tip Tuesday.
It's Tip Tuesday. That's right.
Yeah.
Oh, my. It's Tip Tuesday.
It's Tip Tuesday.
What day is it?
Tip Tuesday. Okay, so let me hit up the Facebook. We had actually a variety of questions.
Oh, good.
This week. I also have a...
always get some great questions from people on
Yeah.
Facebook and Twitter and all that.
Yeah,
we
thank
love it
you
when you
guys.
guys are sending us stuff over here, especially on Tip Tuesday, because it's always fun to kind of answer it. If I know the answer. I mean, I don't have all the answers, but some.
Oh, look how cool this is. I just opened up the Facebook, and my friend Beth Cohen from high school, she's in Boston, the band Boston now, and she tours with them. Oh, wow. And there's a pic where it's got Boston on one side and her autograph on the other side, they hand out to the audience.
She was
stuff.
also singing with Barry Gibb, right?
Yeah, yeah,
Wow.
and he's making a new album for the first time in like 40 years, and she's going to be on it too.
Wow.
Yeah.
She's really getting around.
Yeah, I remember trying out for the school play, and there's some people that always made the play,
right.
and I auditioned, and it was Annie, and I sung, for the audition, and I didn't make it, and I never auditioned again. She made every fucking play. Stupid talent.
She's not moving around the country and making TV shows, though. So.
Well, right. I'm making TV shows.
There you go.
Yeah.
I wonder what she's saying about you.
Well, I'm sure she's making a lot more money than me.
Yeah, we said you were on TV. We didn't say you're making any money.
Right. Exactly. So
You definitely make more money to sing than you do to stand in front of a camera.
Yeah. Stand by. Let me get this. All right. So we have a variety of types of questions. So some are good for you, some are good for me, some are good for us.
When helping people with their homes, they call Skip Bedell.
You want to avoid a headache and save money, he's the man to talk to. Skip Bedell.
How do you pronounce this? Mito? M-I-T-O. How do you pronounce that? I guess if it was Vito, it would be Mito.
Okay.
Allen is his last name. What's the easiest way to remove paint from brick? It's also at least 3 layers thick. Pressure washing doesn't work good, and old-fashioned scraping is taking up way too many man-hours.
3 layers thick. All right, well, you probably, if you can't get it off with a pressure washer, which, by the way, I don't know what kind of pressure washer you're using that can't get paint off a brick.
A cheap one.
But, well, I mean, there are obviously some that are much more powerful than others, and also brick is actually a softer material with, all different masonry products considered, so you can do some damage to it, just like for those of you that have tried to power wash like your deck or different parts of your house, like on the cedar shingles, and you used the wrong pressure washer setting, and it basically carved your name in the side of the Yeah, you can also do that to brick as well with a pressure washer if you're using, like, some of them have interchangeable tips, and they spread the water to a different, fan, whatever, so it concentrates the power more. But if none of that is working, one of two things. Either you have a shitty pressure washer, you're possibly using the wrong tip and the wrong pressure nozzle. But what you can do, there are some products out there, some chemicals that work really well with something like that. So there are products that people use to remove graffiti and things like that, gum and other things off of sidewalks and brick buildings. And there's one in particular that I've used that works pretty well. Let's see if I can. I think it's called World's Best. I'm looking for it right now. It's made by a company called Global Industrial. You can look it up. They make industrial cleaners, but this one, World's Best Bare Brick. Here it is. World's Best Bare Brick Stone and Masonry Graffiti Remover. It comes in a 1-quart bottle, $17.25 for that bottle. And I guess you can apply that to whatever it is that you have on there. It loosens up the paint, and you should be able to get it off. Certainly, if once you apply that to the paint, you can probably come back behind that with the pressure washer, and it'll be all loosened up. Or you can probably even use any type of paint stripper that will basically break down the paint, the dried paint, so that when you come back with the pressure washer, you can just blast it off of there. that would be my suggestion. But check out the graffiti removers. That's one in particular that I've had some experience with, and it works really well.
Oh my God, look at this teacher right here under the math. She was my math teacher, and I remember one day when she was teaching the class, she was kind of heavy set. She had on white pants, and she must have had on a pad, and she got her period.
Oh,
and she didn't realize it, but she had blood on the front of her pants and on the back.
Oh my God!
Like it went past the pad on the
she was
front,
like
on
teaching
both
at the
ends.
front of the class.
Yes, and no one said anything.
Oh no! They just let her stand there.
Oh God, I just couldn't take my eyes off of like those big blood blotches. Oh boy!
You didn't? No one said anything?
No. It's embarrassing. I had to even to say something like, God, forget it. Nobody said anything, and that's what that's sad that I look at her picture and that's what I think of.
Well, can you imagine? You thought it was embarrassing for you. Can you imagine
when she realized it?
Someone finally did tell her, and then she's like, "How long have I been walking around like this?" That's like when you know something's really fucked up, like you have some snot hanging out of your nose or something, and no one tells you, and then you just came out of a business meeting or something.
Yeah.
You're like, really?
Nobody
No one said anything. Nobody said anything. A giant clove of broccoli hanging out of your tooth.
Oh my God, that sucks. Yeah, that's the only thing I remember about her.
Oh, that's terrible. Not that she was a good teacher, or
no.
I guess she didn't learn much.
I got straight A's in everything. It didn't matter if you were a good teacher or not. I just
la-di-da.
Well, I was I just had it going on like that.
All right.
I told you, and then I went to college, and I was nobody.
Were there any hot teachers in your school? Any because now,
yes,
all the teachers are banging all the students.
Remember,
now?
I told you that there was a substitute teacher there, and he also used to coach one of the teams, but he also used to teach gym class.
Of course.
No, I didn't tell you about the guy. No, I'm not talking about the guy with the football shorts that basically tried to molest me. This is a different guy who was really hot. He was a big guy, and I had a crush on him for years. I mean, I tried as hard as I could to flirt with him, even while he was working at the school. So then, but he would never. He was always appropriate. He would never even entertain anything that I was trying to do. So after I graduated, I don't remember how, but I ended up. Oh, God, I know what it was. I was cocktail waitressing at Carrington's out in West Hampton Beach, and he was in there, and I saw him for the first time since high school. And this was, probably, it was shortly after I graduated, I think, because I hadn't gone to college yet. So anyway, we were talking, and we hit it off, and he asked me to go out on a date, and I was like, yes, I was so excited that I finally, after years of trying to get this guy, he asked me out. And we went out to dinner, and I was so disappointed because he was dumb.
Really?
Yes. I was so turned off. It didn't matter how good he looked and that I finally scored. He was dumb, and I couldn't wait to get out of that date.
So nothing happened?
Nothing happened. No.
Oh, no.
I know. Oh, God. It was crazy that he was...
Oh, no.
Yeah, that sucks.
That sucks.
Yeah. All my dreams were shattered.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, it could have been worse. You could have done it first and then realized he was dumb.
Hey, you know what? It might have been good. Who knows? Maybe he was good at something. I don't know.
All right, just keep your mouth shut. Just don't say anything. Just do it and don't say anything. Yeah, right. Yeah.
Okay.
More fucky, less talky.
Right.
All right, what else you got?
Okay, so Dwight Johnson said that his house is 15 years old and he can start to see the drywall seams in the ceiling. How does he fix it and prevent it?
That's awesome. Yeah.
We have that in our bedroom.
That's the best. Well, that's a typical problem that people have, especially if you have vaulted ceilings or cathedral ceilings to where the ceilings are high and the underside of the rafters where the drywall is attached is actually on the opposite side of that rafter is the roof. So there's no attic space above it. So you're getting a lot of temperature exposure through that space. So it's much closer to the roof surface. So it's going to be expanding, contracting a lot. And there's going to be a lot of movement in that roof. And a lot of times what will happen is it'll do what they call shearing, which is where the walls and the ceilings, those joints, especially in that corner, will start to shear and move opposite each other, and eventually it'll just kind of pull the tape out of position or tear it. So really, if it's really damaged, you're going to have to cut that tape out of there and retape and respackle. It'll probably be your best bet. What you can try also is using a mesh tape. Sometimes it'll hold up better than the paper tape to a tough location like that. Now they also have reinforced tape, which is a much thicker, stronger type of drywall tape, and it's used for places like that. It's used for joints that are up on vaulted ceilings. It's used for where there's a lot of movement. And you can probably find that. I know they have it in all the lumber yards. They probably have it in all the big box stores as well. But it's a wider tape, and it's much, much thicker. It's a reinforced tape. So check that out, if not the mesh. And sounds like you're probably going to have to redo it.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, thank you, Skip Adele.
Oh, yeah.
Lynn Steele asked us, what's the strangest place we've snuck in some hanky-panky? Hanky-panky.
Wow. A lot of places.
We've quite a few fitting rooms.
Yeah, a lot of dressing rooms.
Ironically, in the fitting room at Dick's.
Yeah.
Yeah, and also at Bob's.
I think like every fitting room we've ever been.
Macy's in Los Angeles.
All right.
That's the three off the top of my head.
Definitely a lot of set trailers.
Oh, all of them. Yeah.
all of the set trailers on Catch a Contractor.
Yeah, if the trailer is rocking, do not come knocking.
Yeah, a lot of those.
We're married. Don't forget.
Yeah.
We're married. We have to fuck.
I know there's been a lot of really...
In the car, a lot. We've done it in the car a lot.
Wow.
We've done it in every room in this house, on every countertop in this house, every couch.
Every horizontal and vertical surface.
Yes. Yep.
On top of every appliance.
Yeah. Yep. Yep. Where else?
Oh, my God. Basically everywhere. We just, walk around and do it. I just stay connected to you, we kind of walk.
But that's funny when we do that, though.
Siamese twins.
Yeah, because we'll be in one room, we're like, this is not comfortable. Let's go back into the bedroom. Like, okay, but you don't want to take it out, so you walk like an octopus, or like a Siamese twins.
Yeah, we're joined at the hip,
still connected.
We're joined at the crotch. We just walk across the house like that. That's really funny. I've done that many times. No, stay right there. Just stand on my feet.
Because if it gets too much air, then it gets sticky.
Oh, God. All right. We don't need the details. All right, so places. We're not talking about the...
Well, that's the places.
Places, though. Wow.
Lots of fitting rooms.
A lot of those. There has to be other places.
Oh, on the motorcycle. Upstate.
On the motorcycle.
While you were driving and I'm behind you, I was...
Well, yeah, but that's...
doing stuff.
Yeah.
To you.
Yeah. I mean, are we talking about full insertion? What are we talking about?
Well, hanky-panky was the word she used.
Okay. I guess a lot of things could qualify.
On the motor. Oh God, on the rock and that rock, that big ledge thing. We managed to get to somehow.
We were up in the some motorcycle trip that we took. Right, we were on some giant boulder next to a river that we just pulled off the road. There's some There was a huge river, a reservoir.
It was all gated off. This whole reservoir was gated off.
Along the river, right?
And we snuck in.
And and we found this beautiful spot, with just waterfalls and river and these giant.
It was a
boulders.
landing, but it was it was covered with foliage, but it was a place where you can lay down.
I felt like we were just out in the middle of the wilderness.
Yeah, but it was all a rock wall with a landing on it. Right?
Yeah, and that's usually the feeling that you get when you're out in the middle of the wilderness and you're just appreciating all of the environment and you're looking around the trees and the river and the rocks, and then the next thing goes through your mind is, let's fuck.
Yeah, and so we did. I still have pictures in my phone of you when I was taking pictures of you getting dressed afterwards.
Yeah, you were snapping so
you were,
cute, doing your private investigator hidden photo.
My dirty biker,
snapping your little pictures of me when I wasn't looking.
Yeah. Well, because it was watch him, baby, don't let him step on it. It was because it was still new, and I was just completely enamored with my sexy biker.
Oh, is that what it was?
Yeah. So I
right.
just.
Well. What's your excuse now?
Well, I think you're better than ever.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. Well, that's good to hear.
Yeah. Yeah. Was there any place else besides that?
I know there's so many that we're just not thinking of right now.
It's years worth. Over 6 years.
Yeah, there's tons, but to answer your question, there's a few.
Yeah.
When we think of some more, I'll let you know.
Yeah, yeah.
There's a lot more, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Still not in a plane, though. I feel like we spend more of our lives in the air than we do on the ground, and how it is that we've never done it.
Yeah.
In
I don't know. I think
yet.
because we've matured and we're just more respectful of the environment.
I don't think that has anything to do with it at all. I just think we haven't done it. I just think we haven't figured out a way to get away with it.
I don't want to get caught.
Yeah, that's what it boils down. It has nothing to do with the environment. What?
Yeah, I don't know. Like,
yeah, let's stay green. No.
Okay, so I think I can answer this question. Brett 6, and I think I've answered this question before. I don't know if it was from him, though. He weeded and raked his wife's flower bed and before planting new flowers. He ripped every weed out by the roots, and now he has grass growing there. How does he get rid of it and keep it gone? I've answered this before, but here it is again.
Oh, dude, you're in the doghouse.
Pull it out. You know, just like when your wife doesn't want to get pregnant, pull it out. Pull it out with your hands, and then put mulch down, because mulch is a good weed preventer. And you can also use that plastic, the black plastic that you can put on the ground when you're, it keeps the weeds also from growing, and then you can put mulch over that. So the way you get rid of it is pulling it out with your hands and then putting down some mulch to make sure it doesn't grow back. That's how you prevent it and keep it gone. And there you go. There's just some weeds you just got to get on your knees.
The wifey was pissed about that one.
You got to get on your knees, baby.
Yeah, I think after he did that to her garden, he already got on his knees.
No, he did something nice. He weeded and raked her flower bed, but now he's got grass.
Did you say he raked it out? Did he rake out like her
No, before she planted new flowers.
Okay.
Yeah, which was a very nice thing of him to do, but
There's been a few times where I was raking stuff out, and I raked out everything, including your plants and flowers.
Yeah, and the landscaper that did our cleanup just pulled my strawberry patch out. It was a wild strawberry patch that was so pissed, my white strawberries. So, I have grass growing in the veg truck out front here, the one my standing raised garden, and grass seed and shit just flies through the air and lands wherever it does, and then stuff grows, and then you got to pull it out, and that's really the only way to deal with it. You don't really want to use weed killer, because then you're risking damaging the things that you do want to keep. So pull it out by hand, the good old-fashioned way, and get yourself some mulch.
Pull it out.
Yeah. Now, Brett, on another note, Jesse Coker asked a question, and then you proceeded to answer it.
What question was that?
It's a peeve of mine. Because we're asking for questions for the podcast.
Well, was his answer good at least?
Well, he actually gave you props. Jesse Coker asked, what's the best way to stop old wood from rotting? And then Brett said, I would say pressure wash it once a year, followed by Thompson's Water Seal. But I'm not the pro. Skip is.
Yeah, Thompson Water Seal actually is a really good product. It will seal the wood up and keep the moisture from penetrating into it. And it's important that you keep up on that. So if you see the wood starting to get degraded and starting to split and get gaps in where water can get down into it. And also, if you're living in an area that they get big temperature swings, in the wintertime you get freezing, what will happen is water can get into any little cracks in the wood. It'll get in there, it'll freeze, and it'll split the wood apart, just like it does with masonry and everything else in your house. So anything you can do to seal it up and keep moisture out of that wood, it will definitely preserve it and prolong the life of the planks on the deck for sure.
Yeah.
Thompson's a great product. I've been using that stuff for years. It works really well.
Yeah.
So good answer there, Brett.
Yeah, Brett, but it's not your podcast.
Actually, you know what?
Jesse asked us.
Actually, you should just answer them anyway. It'll give me a break.
Oh. Okay, so this chick included a picture, so if you guys want to see it, it's on my Facebook page with the question. Sandy Nichols Alderson said she's got a weird backyard setup. Would like some kind of deck and little budget. What can we do? Backyard is pathetic. Would love to entertain. Well, Sandy, yes, it does look pathetic. I'm sorry.
Let me see that.
It is pretty pathetic. First of all, you've got all that crabgrass growing in between these pavers.
You gonna let me see the picture?
Here. First of all, you got to get weed killer and spray all that crabgrass.
All right, so she's already got some paver blocks down there. So I was going to suggest, a cheap alternative that you can get, right at like Depot, wherever. It's like the big paver blocks that come.
Yeah, we're trying to think of cheap alternatives.
18 inches or 24 inches square. And you already have some, but what's happened is you're getting tons of weed growing up through them, and it's really going to look crappy.
And it's not level. It looks like you've got a lot of waves in there.
The cheapest alternative, if you want to try to work with what you got, is take all those pavers out of there. Get the weeds pulled up out of there. Throw down a landscaping fabric underneath in the area where you're going to be putting those patio blocks back. Also, set in the blocks in a bed of sand. So level out the ground there. You're going to have to do a little excavating, get the shovel out, get the hoe out, the rake, and all that.
Get your hoe.
Yeah, get a level and level out the area where you're going to set those blocks back in. Set them in like an inch of sand. And get it all leveled down nice. And if you put that fabric in first, you're not going to get the weeds coming up through it. Certainly not as bad as you have right there. So if you don't want to use those blocks, there are a lot of other patio blocks they make. It's probably the cheapest alternative because really you can set them in a bed of sand. If you really want to
put the fabric over the sand or under the sand?
I would, if you're only using an inch of sand, I would probably do it underneath because the blocks are going to be.
So she would have to go to the landscaping place and get the sand delivered and dumped in the area.
Yeah, you can.
And
do
then
that.
you spread it out, and then you can use one of those big long a level.
That's the cheapest way to do it is to get it get a delivery of it.
Because it's really hard to set pavers and all that kind of stuff. But if you're really on a tight budget, this is the cheapest way to do it. But you got to make sure that that it's level.
Yeah.
Has to be level or else you're wasting your time.
Yeah, they also make a border that you can put around the outside of that, and it kind of holds all the pavers in place, and you can set them square, and you can hold them tight, and it'll keep them from spreading apart.
That's important.
But if you put that down underneath that, it'll prevent the weeds from coming back. First of all, if you want to use those blocks, you can always get a power washer and clean those up. They make detergent.
But get a lot more of them because this little tiny patio needs to expand at least triple.
Well, it definitely needs some love, but if you want to work with what you have, that would be the cheapest alternative. If not, you can get those blocks.
Nobody looks at a small patio area and goes, "Ooh." They got to make it bigger.
Well, I don't know if she put those down or if they were there when she got the house.
It doesn't matter if she did or not.
But if she can always get more.
This is a small area.
More of the same.
Yeah, get more of the same and triple the size of that, or
right.
Get something else and make it triple the size of this.
So if you get rid of the weeds, you reset those pavers and level it out, expand it, make it a little bigger, and then around the perimeter, all the way around that, dig like a 1 foot, wide bed all the way around the patio, and you can put some nice flowers, nice plantings all around the perimeter of that patio, and you can actually make that look really nice.
You can even buy
a really low budget.
Yeah, and you can even get fake plants as well, and keep them out there, like the fake, bigger leaf plants. We have a couple out there. You can't even tell that they're fake, but they're always green. Don't have to water them, and they make it look kind of tropical and nice out there. Green, big plants always make everything look really nice and homey.
Yeah.
And
if you're working on a budget, I think the cheapest thing for you to do is to use the patio blocks similar to what you have. If you want to get something different, they have some really nice paver blocks that like that size or even bigger that you can get. They're per square foot. There's probably the most reasonable option that you can buy, as opposed to doing a full paver patio where you're going to excavate the ground out. You're going to put in 6-inch of crushed gravel, the RCA, pack that down, and then do a sand bed on top of that. It's a lot of digging. It's a lot of work. And it's also going to cost you, a considerable amount of money. So if you work with the patio blocks, set them in sand, put the fabric underneath to keep the weeds down, and then do it like a nice planting all around the perimeter with some the flowers that come back every year or what?
Perennials.
Perennials. Or even some inexpensive
hostas come back every year, and they're big. They can get really big and beautiful.
They're inexpensive.
They're good for shade or for sun.
You can put a bunch of those all the way around that patio.
Yeah, also
euchera.
Really nice. Euchera is beautiful. It's spelled, I think, Huechera. They are beautiful too. They are red and green, and they come back every year, and they make nice, big, beautiful leaves, and that's a really good plant for shade and sun.
By the way, it's coming up on the time of the year that you can get some really great deals on patio furniture.
Oh, you just stole my thunder. wonder. I was just going to go there when you shut up.
All right. So when you make that patio much bigger, also...
Yeah, because that chair you got there, that needs to go on the curb.
You can find great deals on the gazebos, on patio
August,
furniture.
actually, is when everything goes on sale.
Yeah, it's only a month. It's only a month away.
Yeah, and where I got our amazing furniture. Now, we have the best gazebo and patio area. It's like another room. It's like the best room of our house is outside on our patio, and it's so beautiful and so relaxing. It's just so amazing out there, and you would not believe how much money we did not spend. When we first got this house, I went online to Target.com, and they sell a lot of stuff on their website that they don't even have in the stores. But around August, everything goes on sale. That is the time to buy your nice patio furniture because conversation sets,
it's like 75% off.
Yeah, right? Yeah. Conversation sets, which is the like the love seat, two other seats, and the table, the coffee table. Those things usually go for about $1,500 to $2,000. Outdoor furniture is more expensive than indoor furniture. But if you get it at the time of year when it's on sale, and they're all on sale pretty much at the same time, I particularly like Target because they always have a good price and a nice selection. But, they also have it at Walmart. Buy it at that time of year. Get yourself some really nice furniture on sale and take care of it, like we do. Like we put the cushions in when it's going to rain. We have a gazebo so that everything stays out of the sun, and it's lasted us years. And, so it might seem like it's a lot of money you're spending, but if you make it last a long time, it's a really good investment. Then it's worth the money.
And that's the kind of stuff, just like a couple pieces of furniture out there, some nice new patio blocks.
Pillows.
Right? If you can find some sort of cover, some sort of, overhead like a shade or some sort of gazebo that you can put out there, you can really make yourself like a little outdoor room for not a lot of money and just dress it up, with some inexpensive plants. Couple of torch lights out there, and before you know it, you got a really cool little hangout.
Yeah, and I see that you have a fire pit there as well. In the absence of buying a new one that looks a little bit nicer, what you can do is fancy up that one, find yourself a bunch of big rocks, and just make a big circle like around it, you know what I mean? Like make a perimeter around that fire pit, and it would really fancy it up, and get rid of the wire furniture because it's uncomfortable, and it nobody looks at wire furniture and thinks I want to sit on it.
If that was the budget, that if they're working with what they got, that's what they got. But you had a great idea with next month when all that stuff goes on sale.
Next month,
it's really the time to get that. So meanwhile, while you're waiting for that sale to happen, head on over to Depot and pick up a bunch of those patio blocks and figure out the size that you want to do it, measure it out, and get the blocks that you need. Do what I said with the fabric and the sand, set it up nice and level. And that'll be the start to your new patio. And then you can start building on top of that with your furniture and some plants around it.
And the furniture has to be the wicker furniture, because that's the one that looks nice with the cushions on it. Our entire set...
It doesn't have to be. They have all kinds of furniture, but
that's the kind that looks the best.
Some of them are very nice, but they have other stuff that's
but
not.
Also think of comfort, because some of them that look nice are not comfortable. You got to, think about the size of the cushions, because if it's online, you don't know what it's going to feel like. But just make sure that it looks like it's got enough depth to it that it'll be comfortable, because if you're going to spend the money. Our entire set was $683, and I remember that because it was such a fucking bargain that we got.
Almost like it was like over $2,000 regularly.
Yeah,
and then you got it for a fraction of the
cost.
cost.
Yeah, and it was free shipping because it was over a certain amount of money.
Right.
Yeah, so that was
just got to wait
a
couple of weeks until those sales start happening. But meanwhile, like I said, get started on your patio because that's going to be the foundation of this new outdoor room.
Yeah, scour the internet. You will not regret it. Do not buy anything at full price. I never do. And if you got any other questions, I just love to give advice on this patio because ours is just so amazing. We just keep thinking of new ideas to make it look even better.
Yeah,
I would love to help you out with your project.
On the outdoor yard, outdoor living space for years, a little bit here and there.
Everybody that comes here is like, oh my God.
Take some pictures and put it on Facebook and kind of maybe give you guys some ideas, some different things that we did, like with the pond and the waterfall that we made here.
Yeah.
All stuff that we did ourselves. And all things that you guys can do, and really not for a lot of money,
Yeah.
Especially if you're doing it yourself.
Because we don't have a lot of money, and because I'm cheap.
Well, there's the real answer.
Okay, so moving on. Wes Smith he left a nice message. He said, "Hey, good show, guys. You guys have a few good ones back to back on a good streak lately. Thanks, Wes, because I didn't think so, but all right.
Hey, thanks,
I'll take
Wes.
that.
Hey,
Here's one for Skip. How much can he curl, or what was his best isolated preacher curl, and for how many reps?"
Oh, all right. Well, now we're talking. Okay, so isolated preacher curl over like a preacher bench is actually like an event, like weightlifting competition, and that's like really where you isolate your arms over a curling bench. So there's really no cheating involved with that. And how much can you curl? I've never really lifted like to try to like beat myself or beat a record or anything like that. So it's kind of hard when you say like how much is the most you ever lifted. But I can tell you like I regularly curl, like between like 120, 125 on the curling bar to probably 140 max on a regular curling bar. And dumbbells, like 80 pounds, 70 to 80 pound dumbbells would be like maxed out, for, that's something I've never really tried to do, like, huge amounts of weight. I do a lot of reps and a lot of exercise with it. But yeah, to answer your question, probably pretty regular activity with about 120 on a curling bar.
I was curling 25-pound dumbbells when I was exercising.
Whoa.
Yeah.
That's nice.
Yeah.
You're strong.
Yeah, I could do a lot of reps too.
Wow.
Yeah.
You're strong.
Yeah, I'm strong.
Yeah.
And I can make my boobs go up and down separately. With my chest muscles, my pectoral muscles.
Yeah, you totally do. You do like the pec flex where they like bounce. But
Yeah.
Like you like bounce the whole thing. Yeah, it's like
one at a time.
Yeah, they're like jumping around.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I can control it.
Hey, show that to me in a few minutes when we're done with this.
Okay. But first, answer this question from James Moore. He said he's originally from Long Island and he's now living in West Virginia. He wants to know if you have any tips on cleaning up after your home is flooded. His brother-in-law had 3 feet in the first floor.
Oh, good God. That's a nightmare. So I grew up on the water in Oceanside. We had, obviously, anytime you live near the water, you're going to wind up getting tidal floods, and especially if in a hurricane situation, you're always going to wind up getting water in your house. Certainly if you have a basement, as a lot of the houses do here in the Northeast, you're at least going to get it in your basement. So I can remember as a kid, we had a couple of really bad hurricanes, like Gloria. There was a couple of, I don't remember exactly all the names. I remember Gloria was a big storm. I think it was like back in like the early to mid 80s or something. And there was
Gloria was 86.
There was so much water in my neighborhood that came up over the bulkheads and we had docks right behind my house, that people were actually driving their small boats, little outboard boats, down my street.
Wow.
Like right down in front of my house.
Yeah.
Our house is kind of built up a little bit higher.
We were like New Orleans.
Yeah. Our house was built up a little bit, like on a hill. And when my dad built that house, that's why he did that. He built it. He had the whole land, added, like a lot of soil added to it, because we were so close. We were only like 100 feet from the bulkhead.
Yeah.
So we never got water inside the actual upper portion of the house, but in the basement we'd get water. So I can tell you from a lot of experience of dealing with that water is one of the most damaging things that you're ever going to have to deal with in your house. And to that level,
because it gets everywhere.
3 feet in your house, that's a lot of water. And especially if it's salt water, it's going to wreak havoc on, your electrical, on everything.
Insulation,
So,
it gets into everything.
it gets into everything. It's actually more damaging than fire. It's like really the worst thing that can happen to your house. Sorry to be the bearer of bad news, but probably something that you already knew. So this is a job for professionals. I mean, one of the first things that the pros do when they come in is cut back all the sheetrock up above the water line. So you're going to cut out all the drywall, way above, usually up to 4 feet, and that first, lower portion of the wall, first bottom half of the wall, cut it out, and remove all the insulation and get a lot of air circulating through that space. So we would bring in big industrial fans, also industrial dehumidifiers that will not only move the air around the room, but also remove the moisture from everything, because the water gets back inside all the cavities, inside all the framing, and just gets everywhere that you can't even see. And the only way to get to that damaged material is to expose it. You have to basically rip everything out. So this is a job, again, for professionals. I would call your insurance company if you haven't already done that. And in most cases, the insurance will pay for all of, if not, most of, the cost to have that water damage repaired. I don't know if you require any special flood insurance or whatever it is where you live if you're in that flood zone. And now, because of all the recent storms in the last decade, Sandy and Katrina, insurance companies have taken a terrible beating. So if you live anywhere within miles of the water, now you have to have separate riders, and a lot of people can't even get flood insurance. A lot of companies won't even sell it anymore. So if your insurance company does offer help with that, that would be the first call that I would make, because they'll be a huge asset to you and help you get that job done. If you're going to do it yourself and you're not getting any help from them, then you got to start by getting off all the material. You got to open up every wall and get to every area where water has
or else
penetrated.
you can expect some good black mold.
Yeah, that is the residual problem. Even after you get all of the water out of there, then you have a mold problem that you have to deal with. So hopefully your insurance company is going to help you with that, because that is a monumental job.
And what also would come in handy is the thing I just bought for you.
You did, yeah. So the other day, I get a box to the door. What a surprise! Every day, Amazon, if something is coming from somewhere, especially Amazon. We get like forklifts pull up to the front of the house and drop off pallets of things
daily.
And daily. So this box comes to the door, and Alison says, "Oh, we'll open it up." And she's like, "I was going to wait for your birthday, but I figured I'd just give it to you sooner." So I'm like, "Oh, what is it? What is it? What is it?" I'm all excited. I'm thinking I'm getting a birthday present early, because my birthday is this month, at the end of the month. And I'm thinking, wow, it's going to be great. I open it up, and it actually was great. It was something that I wasn't expecting, because we talked about getting one of these a while back, and I've used them on job sites and stuff. And I'm like, wow, these things really work great. So what is it, you ask? It is a fog machine, not like the one that you have in your party.
Right.
But similar, very similar, actually. But this particular fogger, you fill it up with an antimicrobial liquid, disinfectant that kills mold. And basically, when you turn this thing on, it's like a big, a couple of gallon container that has a heating element and a special machine inside of it.
And a hose, so you can direct it.
It blows out fog, and it turns that liquid into a fog. Now, why is that important? Well, if you're spraying, let's say, you've heard people say, well, mix bleach with water and you can spray it on the mold, it'll kill the mold. Yes, it will, but only where you can get the spray to, right? So between, framing members and planks and underneath shingles and all the areas where you can't get to with a spray, when you use this fogger, it gets everywhere. The fog just creeps up inside of every crevice, every place that you could never get to, and it kills the mold.
And the important thing about this particular fogger that I chose, and I learned from reading all the different descriptions, is that it could be a fogger or a mister, and the difference between if it's a fog or a mist, or the quality of the fog, is the micron size of the water element that's coming out of it. And this one goes as low as 5 microns, and that's like the lowest that you can get in a fog. That's the highest quality, because some foggers, they call themselves a fogger, but it'll only get down to 100 microns.
It's actually like a mist.
Right, right.
I've used misters, and they do stay in the air. It's kind of like a spray bottle with a super, super fine spray.
Right.
It will stay in the air for quite a long time, but it's not going to float, and it's not going to drift, and it's not going to actually get up inside. It won't defy gravity. Right. It's actually going to fall to the ground.
Right.
Where a fog will hover, and it'll stay there, and it'll actually creep up inside of things.
Yeah.
So that's what you want with these machines, and they really work great. All the industrial cleaning companies that do fire and smoke and water damage, they all have these machines, and that's how they get the chemicals that kill the mold.
And it's miraculous the way that it literally eliminates the mold and the stink.
Yeah.
And the product that we use in the machine actually prevents mold from growing in the future as well, in addition to killing it.
It kills the mold that's already there, and then also coats the wood or whatever it is that you're spraying, and it'll prevent future growth. So, happy birthday came early. Thanks, wifey.
Yeah.
Love you.
Love you too, baby.
You got me a mold fogger. Love you.
Well, it's what else?
That's what we do here in the Bedell house, man. We love tools. We love all that stuff. So I'm very excited to have my new fogger.
Yeah. Our good friend of the show, who we have a very warm affection for, Derek Berlinski.
Oh, Derek.
Yes. Hello, Derek. He asked if we could guest star on one scripted television show, what would it be?
Walking Dead.
Walking fucking Dead.
I didn't have to think about
love
that.
it. I know. I wouldn't even have
I
to
just
think
want
about
to
it.
kill zombies.
I actually really
I just want to split heads.
I had wanted to be a zombie on Walking Dead because it's a big deal to get picked to be a zombie because it's a really hard audition. Because
You don't want to be a zombie in the episode that I'm in because I'm smashing every zombie head. I'm smashing hundreds of heads. Even when the cameras stop rolling, I'm still smashing heads.
Yeah.
Like all the actors are going, dude, yo, chill, man. The cameras are going, chill.
It's really people.
I'm killing you, zombie.
Yeah, we just love that show, and so I would just love it.
I gotta say, I'm digging Game of Thrones. I'm loving that too.
Yeah, but you'd have to get naked.
Yeah, well, that's all right.
Everybody gets naked on that show.
That's all right.
Oh, and I think that's all I got for now. You know what? There's a couple others that I have in my phone somewhere, but I don't remember where I put it right now. So that I'm going to leave. That's the questions that we had.
Nice. Well, thanks for contributing, guys, to Tip Tuesday. Hope that was some useful information. And check out the website because we always post links to the products that we talk about.
Yeah, and if I happen to feel so inclined, that means if I'm able to stay awake when I post this, I will put the pictures that I was making reference to, that picture of me in the Hispanic Honor Society.
Oh, you don't want to see that.
And the picture of you by The Rock getting dressed.
Oh, no.
No? Come on,
You're
you
not
were
posting
dressed.
any naked pictures
You already
of me.
had your pants on in this particular one I'm thinking
Sorry,
about.
guys, you're not seeing that one.
I'm going to put it.
No, you're not.
Don't worry about it, everybody. It's going to be there.
Okay, well then make sure you check tomorrow and see all the pictures I put Allison on there too.
Skip doesn't know how to post to the website.
Oh, my God.
So anyway.
I'll figure it out.
Anyway, we wanted to remind you guys also, we would really, really, really be appreciative if you guys felt so inclined to go onto our website and click on the PayPal link and make a contribution to the podcast, because we don't get paid to do this. We don't make any money. We don't have any ads. And it costs a lot to actually do the podcast and
Yes, you
post
don't have
it.
to sit here and listen to boring advertisements like you do on most other podcasts.
Yeah, so if you guys felt kindly about it, you can go on there and help us out a bit. It's just a little donation. If you felt like giving some support or some love, we really appreciate
At
it.
the very least, tell your friends about the Hammer Nails podcast. Spread the love, and
Don't forget to go to the Amazon banner on our website, because that helps us out a lot too, and that doesn't cost you anything extra. So if you're going to shop on Amazon, and I know you are,
I'm going there right now.
it helps us out a lot.
Yeah.
Just, drag the banner up to your bookmark bar, and that'll make it so much easier for you, so that every time you go to shop at Amazon, you don't even have to type it in. You just click on the link on your bookmark bar. It helps us out, and you don't even have to do anything different.
I'm going on Amazon right now. I'm going to order some fog juice for my fogger.
Fog juice.
Yeah. Thanks for checking in with us, guys, and we'll be back in a couple of days. Remember, tell your friends about Hammer Nails Podcast. We love you.
We love you.
We'll see you soon.
Bye.